Hello there everybody, Shriko here, and we're coming at you again with the third episode of the Shriko Galactic F1 team, my team career mode. That was interesting to say all at once. The two teams just made it sound weird. Anyways, we've got the Monaco Grand Prix coming up this weekend, which I am very, very nervous for, and that is why it's taking a little bit of extra time to get this out, because I always hit the walls and the barriers. I hope that my practice will see me through and we won't touch any barriers this race, but I am not confident. As long as we get past the finish line, I'll be very happy. And I hope we don't have a repeat of Spain where we just get the shits and give up. But anyways, on to the starting admin stuff. The main thing here is we just want to look at helping our driver and our department where we can. So we're just going to go with the chassis department focus and the F1 esports event for to get our driver a little bit of extra acclaim. I believe that is there. So in the vehicle comparison at the moment, we're just edging Haas. We're just edging out Haas. We're just edging out Haas, and we're just slightly behind Alfa Romeo. So we do have the pace in the car. The problem is I am struggling a lot with the weight of the car to get it around corners. Well, I was last time around anyway. I was last Grand Prix anyway at Spain. So hopefully with a few upgrades coming in, because it looks like we got a downforce and a weight distribution both minor coming in on the 11th there, and then we've got durability coming in on the 24th. So we should have the downforce and the chassis upgrades come through before Monaco, as long as they don't fail. So if we take a look at the standings, we have solidified 8th at the moment with a solid singular point from our very first Grand Prix. Mercedes are ahead of Red Bull, then McLaren, AlphaTauri, Ferrari, Alpine, Aston Martin, then us, and then the other three don't have any points at the moment. So it looks like a Mercedes, Red Bull and McLaren top 3 at the moment, but AlphaTauri are not too far behind in that fight as long as they have some good performances. Sergio Perez is leading the driver standings. Lewis Hamilton only 2 points behind, and then we've got a bit of a gap to Bottas and Norris. With Pierre Gasly, he's doing not too bad, but as you can see, Max Verstappen is down a little bit in the standings. That's because he had a DNF in Spain. Looks like those top teams are actually going to be a lot closer than the vehicle performance index indicates, as Aston Martin aren't doing too well, and they're supposedly the third best car on the grid, or pretty much just equal with McLaren there. So if we go ahead with some R&D upgrades coming in, so I think what the plan is, we've got a few points to spend, so we're probably going to go ahead with one of the aero upgrades. I think we're going to go ahead with this minery downforce one. So we've got another department event, so let's see what's up. So we've got here 50k to increase driver focus or decline. Well, we're just gonna get the driver focus up. That's gonna improve his performance. So if we go over to our driver standing actually, and his focus is at 79 at the moment for Sportsman, so that's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Hopefully it just keeps improving, but going not too bad. Sportsman is doing pretty well. So we'll save up 2.2 mil, get an increase in fabrication. And I think that's what we'll do as well. We'll get spec 1 and we'll improve fabrication. We can do simultaneous upgrades in all departments, just so we don't get bottlenecks at the moment. We're not earning that too many resource points at the moment, but we really don't want... Oh my god, we've got another one coming through as well. But we don't want bottlenecks happening. We want to keep improving this car as much as we can week to week in between.
Via the R&D stream. The personnel departments need some assistance to reach a resolution.
So 20k for increased 7 points of racecraft. Just...
Thanks.
What's 20k?
I appreciate
that's 70k to improve our second driver. He better be good this weekend, seriously. Also, I did not see if we had... Yeah, R&D looks like they've come through. The rear floor Andres has not. Ah, damn it, man. Williams has made some improvements far out. Okay, so that's going to come in. That's going to come in time for Baku. That's very disappointing. That's... All right, so what we're going to do now, we've got these guys coming in. We can do another one. This is the front downforce, isn't it? We'll get another front downforce upgrade coming in, which should hopefully come in time for the next race at Baku. I think I'm going to spend a bit of time in FP1 just taking my time a bit, getting used to the track. Yeah, as I said, I'm very nervous for this weekend. I really hope we do all right. So FP1 complete, and I wasn't overly happy, to be honest. We were down in P19 with a 112.7, which, you know, we're only 2/10 behind our teammate, so we're not insanely slow. The problem that we had was our car. The car itself is a nightmare to drive around Monaco. It is almost impossible. I loaded in a custom setup, and I was struggling. I was smacking the barriers left and right. I could not control the car around the corners. I was drifting through turn 1. Swimming pool section was a nightmare, and I was getting so frustrated. I ducked out into time trial to test the setup because I was trying to. I spent ages messing with the setup, trying to, you know, find the right balance, and I just couldn't. I couldn't find a good balance, and so I went into time trial. We messed with the setup and went with the Williams car, and it was fine. The setup was fine, and what I realized in the feeling of it was that the Williams car was just so much lighter, and the downforce was balanced properly. Whereas in this car, with the upgrades we got on them at the moment, it's just all over the place. It's a very heavy car. We don't have the downforce on the car either. Like, it's just incredibly bad in that department, and I was really struggling through a lot of these corners. Like, we're doing a lot of little lockups. I'm not looking forward to this race at all. I am just hoping that we can have just a smooth race. If it's boring, it's boring. I am having an absolute mare right now with this track and this car. So hopefully we can sort things out. So we just skipped to the end of my second qualifying lap because it was an unbelievably good lap. I pulled out the lap of my life here. I felt so good at the end of it. We made up, I think it was like 1.5 seconds or something like that on our first run, which was incredible. So hopefully we qualified pretty well. So let's find out where we end up in a sec here once we get through to the timing sheets. We finished where? Oh, what? I don't believe it. We have finished in P14. What on earth? We gained a whole second on that second run, and we got into P2. We got into P2. We're in P14. What on earth? We pulled out a 1:10.4. Like, for this car as well, we're a whole second ahead of our team. I don't know, honestly, I don't know where that has come from. That is incredible. So now we're into Q2. Q2, we just decided pretty much to wait till the very end of the session to put out a lap. We're just pretty much doing a one-shot quali in Q2 because then we see where everyone's at. The track's rub it in a bit, and hopefully we can pull out a really good lap and qualify high up the grid. So yeah, it's all down to one lap for us to see if we can qualify well in Monaco to get a good start of the race and, you know, hold position. But let's see where we end up. So we just started here at the middle of the lap. We've done a pretty good lap so far, and, you know, I think overall it was an unbelievable lap. We were pushing the car to its limits. We were getting close to the barriers, but we weren't hitting the barriers. It was nice and clean. Through all the turns, that chicane was very nice. You know, so I was extremely happy when it came through the end of it. Yeah, so, like, obviously now I'm doing a voiceover, but in the moment after the lap, you'll see my real-time reaction as I was doing all the commentation for the pre-race in the moment. So yeah, we come across the line with a very good lap here. Oh my god, if you could see my reaction right now. We're in P13. Let's go. What a qualifying session from us. A 1:10.05. We've beaten Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon and George Russell for P13. That is unbelievable. That is huge. Qualifying everything in Monaco, and we've done so well. Oh my lord, I am so happy right now. I cannot believe we just did that. I pulled out the lap of my life again. I've done a 1:10 flat in this crappy car. I tell you what, as this track is rubbing in a little bit, and I did a lot of laps, even though it only showed 3 laps I did a lot of laps over practice, and I was getting the feel for the car and understanding where I could push it, where I couldn't. Boy, we've just done so well there. I am so happy with that. So to end on that fantastic note, we're increasing team acclaim. But to end on that fantastic note, let's get into Sunday race day here at the world famous Monaco Grand Prix in Monte Carlo.
Nelson Piquet once said that driving the Circuit de Monaco was like riding a bicycle around your living room, and it's not hard to see what he means by that. There's no more prestigious a Grand Prix victory than Monaco, but also none so challenging. The astonishing Circuit de Monaco is, for all intents and purposes, virtually unchanged since its inaugural race back in 1929. The faster cars of today, though, ensure the 19 corners past the casino and along the seafront remain as thrilling as ever. A 2.1-mile lap here takes us around an entire country, yet never more than inches from the race-ending barriers. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn one. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are three main things to worry about there, Crofty. Positioning, awareness, and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Charles Leclerc and Ricciardo, Norris, Sainz, Vettel and Yuki Tsunoda, Gasly, Stroll, the Professor and Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi and Mick Schumacher, Latifi, Schwartzman, Mazepin and George Russell ends our grid lineup. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
So there we have it, the grid order for the Monaco Grand Prix, and as we saw at the end of qualifying, we're in P13. So it's going to be an unbelievable race. I'm hoping we're in a very good position to hopefully nick some points. Especially, you know, doing the one stop. We're going to do the one stop here today. But yeah, especially with the one stop, we might give ourselves the best opportunity to nick a couple of places and sneak into the points here today. So it's going to be pretty positive. Yeah, not much else to say. I mean, I'm just hoping we can continue our pace from qualifying into the race, because we really got the hang of the car in qualifying there. In practice, it was a bit all over the place. It was coming together slowly, but then as we got into the qualifying sessions and the qualifying laps, it just came off really, really nicely. And then, you know, doing the one shot pretty much in Q2 worked very, very nicely for us. I don't think we could have improved too much more than that 110 flat. So we're going to go, yeah, as I said, the one stop, mediums to softs, mediums to hards. And we're just going to try and pretty much get track position and keep it. We defend for our lives. That's the plan. Because obviously we're not in a great car, you know, especially we're going to be in a midfield battle where we're off the pace big time. So we'll just have to see how we go and just place the car well and hopefully pick up no damage. So let's get into the race. Let's go. Race start at Monaco Grand Prix. So here we go. We got 5 lights at Monaco, and it's lights out, and away we go here. And we're actually off to not a bad start, but all the AI around us get Jeff, shut up, man! You interrupted my race start commentary. He's already talked to me about where we're going through the middle of turn 1, which is one of the most chaotic turns in the season. Anyways, we're battling it out with both the Alpines as we split between the two of them. We've got Alonso ahead of us, and we almost lose it there and nearly put into the barriers. Ocon tries to get up the on the outside of us. Oh my lord, my commentation has been put off from Jeff. I will blame Jeff. Anyways, we make up these positions back on the hairpin as we do a big dive bomb and cover the inside of Gasly on the slowest turn on the calendar. And I was pretty pissed off that we lost a couple positions at turn 1, and so I just went, stuff it, man. I'm going for the big dive bomb on the hairpin. Why not? So we're up into P12, so we gained 1 position from our starting grid position here. yeah, not a bad first lap, to be honest. I mean, you know, straight away we had Jeff in our ear telling us we got damn wear on the engine. Like, shut up, Jeff, tell us a couple laps in when things have calmed down. Seriously, honestly, that guy's got no idea. He does my head in sometimes, but at least he shows a bit more excitement on my overtakes now, which I'm quite happy about. That, you know, makes me feel good when I do an overtake and he gets all G'd up for me. I'm like, go, come on, Jeff, let's get it. So anyway, we're coming across for start of lap 2 behind Stroll, who's on the mediums. We've got Gasly behind us on the hards, which faring pretty good for us, you know, so we should be able to settle in a little bit. We shouldn't have too much pressure from behind since we should be quicker than Gasly. Well, I mean, realistically, we're not gonna be quicker, but we should be roughly the same. So anyway, we skip to the lap, or the end of lap 2, I should say. Correct myself. Bottas has just come across with a 1:11.4 with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. The Mercedes, the two Mercedes are already streaking away from the rest of the field there in the bottom left on the map, mini map, as you can see. Honestly, my goal here was just to stick on the end of Stroll because I knew, you know, it's all the soft compound runners are ahead of Stroll. Their tyre wear is going to kick in probably around the lap 8, lap 9 mark, and for a lap or two, the field will be backing up into us. So I was just going, you know what, Aston Martin's such a better car, but let's just stick to the back of them. You never know. There might be a safety car as well, which we can get the jump on them maybe. You know, it was just holding position and hopefully some luck could go our way to get into the point. So as we go to a nice shot in the tunnel view and we fly through the tunnel here in P12, as you can see, not too much has changed in the standings other than pretty much us dive bombing the field a little bit. Everything else was maybe 1 or 2 positions through the back line, through the back of the field, I should say, that changed. But yeah, not too much craziness going on at the start of the race. Everybody was jostling for positions, but ended up settling back into their group, starting grid positions. As now at the end of lap 3, we're already a second and a half ahead of Gasly, so we're making some good time as we keep it in the slipstream of Stroll, just under that 1 second. So we're in the DRS. The dirty air was a little bit crazy, you know, through some of these corners. As you know, you see, we've just had to drop down into 4th gear there, and we couldn't, you know, we had to go quite slow through some of these corners. And I'll tell you what, that bump at the chicane, at that swimming pool chicane there, I'll tell you what, for any of you that haven't played Monaco or haven't got F1 2021 yet, my lord, be careful on there. There was a lot of times in practice I hit that bump and went flying into the wall. It was crazy, and I was just lucky. I turned damage off for practice because I knew I was going to hit the wall a lot. And Christ, we hit the wall plenty of times. So anyways, we're at the start of lap 5. We're going all right. 2.5 seconds. We gained a whole another second on Gasly, so we got no pressure from behind us, and we're just maintaining the same gap. We're managing our gap to Stroll. We're trying not to push the car too hard, you know, because the tyre wear does get pretty crazy. And then another lap on. Look, honestly, the Monaco in real life is pretty boring, right? And as we take a magnificent helicopter view here, look at this going through the final part of sector 2 and the start of sector 3. This is an unreal shot. Look at that. That gets me excited seeing shots like that. That's gunners. I think we just clipped the wall there as well out of the swimming pool chicane. What was I saying? I can't even remember, but we gained a bit of time on Stroll there. Oh, that's right. Yeah, so it was a bit of a boring race, to be honest, in real life. And normally the game's a bit more exciting, a bit more overtaking and whatnot. But honestly, it was the exact same thing. We were sticking to the back of Stroll, and as you see here, the tyre wear actually was kicking in for the soft compound runners, and everyone's backed up into us, so we were right behind Stroll. So I'm thinking, you beaut, let's get something on him. And you know, we were really trying here. As we have another look at the tunnel shot there, I love that shot, honestly, coming through the tunnel. It just looks unreal. So we've got 3.5 seconds on Gasly, but the danger here, right, is Gasly's gonna possibly make up some time on us if the soft compound runners don't go into the pits here, because I mean, well, Vettel at least is really slowing down. The tyre wear's really kicking in for him and his Aston Martin. I don't know if you guys have seen, but now you can see in the minimap again the two Mercedes cars. Oh wow, look how far ahead they are of the Red Bull. It's ridiculous. Those two are way ahead of the Red Bull. So that, you know, unless something crazy happens and there's a safety car, you know, they're gonna have the race in the bag. They're gonna have the 1-2. So as Jeff gives us a new strategy in the MFD as we're coming to the chicane, so we'll just check it in a second here, and they've actually told us to go pit lap 22. So the tyre wear, we're doing unbelievable with in the tyre wear situation. So we did the race strategy, predicted pit window, you know, lap 17. You know, the engineers have decided, you know what, we're going to go to lap 22. It's looking good. So anyway, we're coming around the final turn here. on the DRS straight. We're still sticking on the back of Stroll. Gasly's made probably about 4/10ths on us. And we actually just decided to skip to lap 11 because nothing really was happening. The grid was backing up into us, and we got Gasly's made up a little bit of time. He's 2 seconds behind us, and as you can see, Perez is 13 seconds behind Hamilton there, who's in P2. So the Mercedes, both Mercedes have an unbelievable gap on the rest of the field, and Lando Norris has just come into the pits. That's why he's dropped positions. You know, look, there was literally no jostling for positions. Everybody's in the exact same positions as they were at the start of the race, essentially. It was crazy. Maybe bar minus 1 or 2. So there you go. Vettel goes into the pits ahead of us. So now the real task here, as we nearly lose it coming out of the final turn there onto the DRS straight, the real task here is to hang on the back of Stroll now, because he's in a much better car. So I've really, you know, tyre wear is not an issue, so I really have to push the car while being careful not to put it into the barriers, because I really wanted to stick on the end of Stroll, get him to tow me a bit through the DRS section and get a bit of a gap again on Gasly, so we can go into the pits not too bad. As we take a look at a bit of a broadcast view here, coming down the hairpin, coming into the hairpin, I should say. So, you know, we're 8/10ths behind Stroll. We're in P7 after the front runners have gone into the pits. They're on the 2-stop, we're on the 1-stop. So hopefully this 1-stop will get us ahead into the points, which would be unbelievable. As you can see, Gasly is only 1.5 seconds behind us now, so he's gained 1.5 seconds on us, with those soft compound runners actually slowing down a lot due to the tyre wear. So as we come through this chicane, but we're looking pretty good. The race, I was settling in nice. We were in a good rhythm. I was feeling really, really good about my race, and I was extremely happy with myself. And even though it was a boring race and there wasn't really much happening, my consistency through each lap was unbelievable. I mean, as you can see, our race pace is great. But yeah, so we're doing unbelievable in this race, and I was so happy. We were going so well, and I was excited for the 1-stop.
Don't panic just yet, but we've
no,
seen
Jeff.
a problem at our end.
No, Jeff, don't tell me anything, Jeff. We're having a great race. What are you doing? Come on, Jeff. Hopefully they resolve it. Hopefully the team can figure this out, because we're having an unbelievable race here. I don't want to end the race early for any means whatsoever, because we're sticking on, we're losing a little bit of time to the Aston Martin, but we're sticking on the back of him, and we're extending the gap to Gasly, so we're doing extremely well. Hopefully they resolve it, but we shall see in the future. But anyways, as we continue through lap 15 here, and
okay,
no!
Severe engine issue. Find a
Damn it!
space to retire
Jeff,
or return to
you're
the
killing me,
pits.
man. We've had a gearbox failure. We've had a gearbox failure. Unbelievable. 2 races in a row we've had to DNF. The last race in Spain, we just DNF'd ourselves because we had a terrible race, and we've had a mechanical issue here. As we look at the replay, I mean, not much to really look. We got a different radio message on the replay from Jeff, but I'm speechless. My reaction in the moment, I must have been sitting there in dead quiet for about 20 minutes. Well, it felt like 20 minutes. I was sitting there for ages. It was ridiculous how long I was sitting there, because I was so mad. I was so mad. We were having such a good race. I mean, it wasn't the most entertaining of races by any means, but we were... Oh, the consistency through each lap was unbelievable.
Let's have a look then at the driver's standings. After an
So,
performance,
Bottas
Hamilton secures the top spot
wins, Hamilton second, Verstappen third, the Mercedes again, you know, straight out, were unbelievable. And look at that, it was just, everybody was up 1 or 2 places, you know, a few places here and there. Some interesting things happened after we DNF by the looks of it, because everybody's gone up in places, in the top 10 there, but it's so unfortunate. And Danny Ricciardo had a DNF as well after us. I mean, we can't see what's going on once we DNF, because the game just simulates the rest of the race. But disappointing end to our race. Lap 15, we've been pulled in early. I mean, I don't know what to say. I honestly don't know what to say. I was feeling unbelievable. I mean, look, guys, we're on 95 AI, so we're not on cheap AI where they're very good, the AI. And I mean, I'm not exceptionally great at this game. I'm pretty pacey, but I'm not, you know, by any means. I'm just probably a little bit above average. But the AI they're very consistent at Monaco, and honestly, I was the same. We were extremely consistent. I mean, so it's very unfortunate that we had that DNF. Schwartzman, he's gone up into P18, so he's had an okay race, nothing too crazy. But yeah, guys, that's the end of the video. And if you enjoyed watching, please like, please subscribe, tell me what you thought. But until next time, thanks, and may the force be with you.